Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the GonzoEwok channel with me, Ewok.
And me, Gonzo.
For another episode of
Geordie Space Program! That was a bit lacklustre.
That was a bit lacklustre.
Aye.
For another episode of Geordie Space Program!
That's much better. Right, I'm feeling much happier about this, which, let's be honest, is a bit of a surprise after the performance of the last few episodes.
Oh, last one was alright.
You say it was alright, it really wasn't. I mean, it wasn't really a record-breaking attempt at some sort of massive jump.
That was 2 episodes ago.
Was it?
Last episode we rescued Urzon from the Mun.
That's quite correct. I'm getting confused. It's been a busy couple of weeks. We're actually recording on a Friday afternoon here, aren't we? Not the Friday afternoon you'll be watching this.
Yeah. That's the kind of mission that I wanted. Science data from around the Mun. What we're going to do today, and you could use this as a little bit of a tutorial if you feel like listening to us, is we're going to create a ship that sends 3 small satellites up. We're going to pop one around the Mun, we're going to pop one around Kerbin, and we're going to pop one around Minmus. And the idea is, whenever one of these missions comes up, we'll have a little thermometer on that, and the communitron. So we'll get, mission comes up, science data from around the Mun, we'll nip to the satellite, we'll take a reading, we'll bang it back to Kerbin, and that's 56 grand.
And of course, the thermometer is reusable, so we can do that every time one of those missions comes up.
Absolutely. So every time one of those missions comes up, it's going to be a 30-second 50 grand.
Now, Ewok, I'm incredibly impressed with your foresight here. That's a very, very good idea. I don't think anybody will watch any of my videos to this point and think, I'm going to get some tutorials out of them. But you know what? It's their loss, because that will be a bloody good tutorial. And the big if is, we can pull it off.
If we can pull it off. I'm sure we will. So, we've got a Mun rocket. We know that that's capable of getting to the Mun. So, we can use that launching stage to take the 3 satellites up.
Yeah, we don't need like a landing stage really as such, do we? We just need something that can get up.
Pop that bit off.
Yep. Get the gubbins out.
Chuck that away. Should we just send up the probe? There's no need to risk a Kerbin on this, is there?
As long as we've got lots of batteries on the thing, I think we should be alright to do it, yeah.
So we'll pop that little probe core at the top. And we'll stick another little engine on the bottom just in case we need a little bit extra poke to get this into orbit.
Aye.
So we'll stick... Yeah, no harm having a little bit more than what we need. It's not going to be a bank breaker, this one.
Well, you say that, but I mean the actual launch stage is incredibly expensive.
But we'll get our money back several times over from this.
This is an investment.
To do so, we'll pop the 45 on the bottom. We'll need a little decoupler.
Is there any particular reason you're going for the 45 over like one of the Russ engines?
Just so we can do it a little bit quicker, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to hang with that whole, we haven't got as much money as we used to, you know.
So I'm just going to check the staging on this before we build the little probes. So they go off and then all of our engines go on. Then the bottom ones come off, then the side ones.
Why do we have the batteries on that bottom bit? Why did we do that?
That's probably a legacy from an earlier design.
Right, we can get rid of them. We'll need batteries and probably solar panels, but we're going to put those on the top end.
We'll put them on the probes themselves, because then they'll not be wasted.
Aye, it's a good idea.
Because this bit's completely disposable. They're clipping a bit. We flew with this last time, didn't we?
Yeah, we thought it was a bit dodgy, but actually in reality it worked, absolutely fine. Yeah. So what we're going to have to do then is design a little probe.
So that probe itself, you know what? Shall we have 4, just in case one goes wrong?
Well, I think for symmetry purposes and to actually make the thing look alright and not clip too much, kind of makes some sense.
So the probes themselves, these ones can be really tiny.
Yeah.
So do we have any super small? We haven't unlocked any super small fuel things yet. So the best we'll be able to do is something like that.
That's super small. And we're going to use like poodles on these then, are we?
Yeah, you're right. We'll go for one of these there.
Aye. If anything, that just gives you a little bit more space to put stuff on as well.
So let's see if we can get some decouplers on there. And they're going to come from there. Are they facing the right way around?
Use the radial ones.
No, the radial ones won't click, mate. That's the right way around now.
We'll probably be alright either way.
It is, because you have that bit and then that bit will drop off. You see, it's the same way around that we've got these ones.
Oh, yes.
Which is how I know it's right.
Now, how are we going to attach what things to the outside of this? In fact, why are we even putting them on girders? Why don't we just put radials onto the side of the body?
It's very difficult to attach things like this to the radials in editor mode.
Right.
So I appreciate it's a little bit.
But then, where does the engines go?
Okay, here are the engines.
Yes.
So take a little dinky engine, pop that on there.
Oh, that's very clever. Yes, yes.
One of them, pop that on there.
It looks like one of those little things that used to get one of those Lego parts. They used to come with all the space sets in Lego. The top bit. I think they were supposed to be RCS thrusters for Lego, but I always used to think they looked a bit like tannoys, you know, like the old public address systems with a bit sticking out.
I mean, that's not particularly aerodynamic, but
it's hideous.
Fortunately, aerodynamic update hasn't hit yet, so we'll get away with it.
Yeah, I think we mentioned in past couple of episodes, I think once 1.0 hits, we'll probably end up rebooting the series.
Most of our designs will be completely inadequate by that point.
I think and it'll be fresh start. I mean, unfortunately, this iteration of Geordie Space Program sadly has been a little bit kind of lackluster. Really, we got off to a fairly strong start, but didn't do particularly well.
Indeed, I forget how the abandoned mini-series went, but I seem to remember that being a bit smoother.
Yeah, and we got off to a fairly strong start. I mean, that was only 3 episodes, and generally speaking, our first 2 or 3 episodes of a series tend to go quite well, and then things start to kind of like go off the boil a bit. Nice, okay.
Oh, I can't get them quite the way I want them. Oh, that's because I've got like 6 of them going on instead of 4.
Yeah, it's a bit better.
So I've got the solar panels on there and whatnot. Now all we need to do now is pop on
6 communitrons. I get one of them on. Might as well put a bit more science on as well while we're at it.
Well, we're not really going to get any benefit out of it because we've tapped out around all the.
Aye. I suppose you're right. It's just it's a shame, you know.
You know what? I'm gonna just, for prettiness, I'm just gonna hide that probe core away.
Just sitting in a nice bath of fuel because that's sensible in space.
And then I can pop that on there like that. And that'll look lovely once it's deployed.
Well, I wouldn't go for lovely. It's not the best looking satellite you've ever seen. Function, though. And function with it carries its own form of beauty.
Absolutely.
Nothing useless could ever truly be beautiful.
So you like that? You think that's alright?
It'll do. It'll do.
So
I'd probably strut those just for the takeoff.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Maybe like strut the from there up to the probe body in the centre itself, maybe. Oh dear.
Undo. Okay.
They're floating in space.
Why is it not?
Well, it attached to one of the fairings.
Ah, good point.
Aye.
So we'll have to pop it there.
Aye. No, that looks as though that's going to be floating as well. Yes, it is.
Ah, everything's gone wrong. Undo.
Jesus H. Christ.
What happened there?
You've made the solid rockets at the front here vanish. Undo that. Strange shading going on there. I'm not budding. This isn't done well.
What's redo?
I don't know.
Well, what probes have disappeared?
Oh, Control and R maybe?
Control R. No, that's symmetry mirror. Oh, that's good to know. Control X. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to pause the recording, put it together, and then we'll be back to you with the finished ship.
Cool.
And we're back. Yeah, sorry about that. Just a little bit of a glitch. We've made a slight design change.
Yeah.
At Gonzo's request, we've got these 4 communitrons sticking on the outside.
I just thought it would look a little bit more kind of like Spacenik. I was going to say, Jesus Christ, Sputnik. That's what Spacenik. Jesus. Yeah. And that was the idea. Just figured it would look a little bit better. You know, we've done this nice little crosshatch thing with the struts on the top as well. That's quite snazzy.
Yeah, I did that purely for aesthetics. I really quite like that.
Aye.
But yeah, we've called it a satellite launcher. Let's save it. We'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? Ooh, staging.
What's the worst that can happen? Well, I'll tell you the worst that can happen. We could get the staging wrong and we could right bollocks it up.
That's still all good. with all the solids going off, and then all the ones at the bottom go off, and then the side ones go off. Right, that
Yeah, we need lots of independent stages for...
needs to be up there.
The decouplers, do I want to do them one after the other, or do I want them all to, like, jump off at the same time?
We'll bounce them all off at the same time.
Right.
So, that goes there. That.
The
Gonna need
engine...
another stage.
The engine at
So
the
that
very
goes
top.
there, and that goes there. So all the liquids fire, and then we've got that extra little boom stage if we need it to get the orbit. Then the satellites come off.
Yeah.
And we don't need any parachutes or anything like that, because this thing ain't ever coming back.
Certainly not. No, I think that
Alrighty.
should do quite nicely.
That should do the job.
Right.
Launch.
Launch it.
Right.
You excited?
I haven't flown since we recorded the last episode. I haven't played any. And I remember last episode I was still a little bit wobbly because it had been a long time before that.
You've always been wobbly since the very first episode.
Right.
Although you did some pretty decent piloting last time. I mean, it took you 3 or 4 attempts to actually touch down.
Well, we landed on a real slant, and oh, that's very loud. Let's turn the volume down there so you're not all deafened at home.
Hopefully you can still hear. I'd maybe turn it down a touch more while we're flying. Hopefully that'll be alright. It's these speakers that I've got rigged up in my computer that can be insanely loud, and of course the game's quite loud for the rocket sounds. And
we've got perform temperature scans of Minmus. Yes, I remember that mission. That mission was
that
not
went
a good
horribly
mission.
wrong.
We will not be revisiting that mission. I think we will gladly fail that one.
They sound horrible. One thing that I've seen, there was an article in Rock Paper Shotgun about we probably should have took them legs off. There was an article in Rock Paper Shotgun about some of the new features they're talking about bringing in for 1.0, and one of which is about random scenarios.
Oh, okay.
So I think that'll add quite a bit of replayability, where the game will like impose restrictions on you. It'll give you a mission and then say you can do this mission, but you've got to use these certain collection of parts, or it can't be more than like 15 parts big. Or I think that should add a nice kind of like challenge mode to the game as well. Because the only issue I have with sandbox games in general is sometimes like I can come up with some nice creative things that I want to do. Other times though, I kind of think I'm bored and I can't use my imagination to come up with something fun to do. So I like it sometimes when there is that little bit of kind of structure behind the game just to kind of help you along.
See, I lack imagination, which is why I generally play career mode over sandbox mode. I like the progress of building things up and doing science and moving forward and doing missions and managing your finances and stuff like that.
The career mode definitely has added a little bit more structure to it, but I think this will add just that little extra kind of layer to it as well. If you fancy just a quick game, load up and say, all right, here you've got to do a moon mission, but you can use 20 parts and you can only use this certain like pool of parts to build your.
It also could add like an element of competition between players, because it's one thing saying, "Ooh, I can go to the moon, can you go to the moon?" Or I can go to Juna, can you go to Juna? But to actually have those restrictions and say, well, who can build like the cheapest craft using only these parts, and
it'll give Scott Manley about 5,000 more video ideas as well. Not that he's short of them to start with, but I know he does a lot of like sort of challenge runs as well. If we ever like build up a bit of a following, I'd be up for doing like some sort of challenge runs. But of course, to do challenge runs, you've got to be good enough in the first place. Really, our challenge runs should be called "How do you want to see we fail?" That would probably be a better one. How like they would, you know, like the community could set up challenges where they're like, right, we want to see your face plant onto the moon.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, we're very good at that. But you've got to do it at like plus 500 meters per second, because usually we do it sort of slowly because we're trying to land, and then it would be a case of get to the moon and then get as fast as you possibly can into its face. Quite like that.
I could go quite fast.
Right.
Just make sure you get a collision course.
So how we're doing here? We've still got a lot of fuel.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to need that extra stage.
Yeah.
I just put that on as more of a safety net. I wasn't sure if we'd need it or not, but better to have it, especially because it's not a hugely expensive rocket. What was it, about 90 something?
It was about that, I think.
We're going to get 54 back just from doing this mission, but then we're going to have those satellites there. And we're going to be able to do mission after mission after mission.
Watch the game troll with and never give her one of those missions again. Just collect some science data from around Minmus. It'll never do it again.
The beauty is we'll have a spare satellite in orbit, so if we'll get put a satellite around Moon or Minmus, we could probably use that one to do it.
Aye. I mean, the thing is, as well, this I think cost about 90 odd grand, so actually that's not too expensive compared to some of the monstrosities we've been putting together recently. Because of course, Jolly Space Program's fallen under the recession. We're not recession-proof, you know, sadly. We have lost a lot of cash over the past half dozen or so episodes, just not achieving missions and using very expensive kit in the process of failing.
Well, we now know that this bit was unnecessary.
It's still good that we've got it though. If you detach it, it'll actually look a little bit kind of like a rudimentary space station with no function whatsoever, but it's got that kind of feel to it, you know.
Right, let's get all the panels out now.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to go to each individual satellite and do it.
I think that's looking quite snazzy. If we were people that used in-game footage for our thumbnails instead of like ones that put together ourselves, that would be a great one with all these panels extended. Looks quite nice.
What I really could have done was map them to one of the hotkeys rather than going through
this
laborious
doing the
process.
action groups. That's actually the most grown-up thing we've ever built.
Okay, it was good that we sent a satellite because that one seems to have lost 3 solar panels. I'm not sure how that happened because we built it as one and then duplicated it 4 times, so I've no idea where it's disappeared to.
Well, we'll not worry about that now. We can just leave that one attached, I suppose. Don't particularly need it. That one in itself, just flinging around there, if we get anything for Kerbin, we could use that one. Or we've got a fully fledged one we could separate off in any of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Rather than detaching all of them, we'll leave that one attached because that'll keep some electricity flowing to there. It'll keep the whole thing going.
Yeah.
So we'll just pop these off then.
I'd maybe do one.
It's fine.
Just because we don't know if there's enough fuel, is what I was going to say. We don't know if there's enough fuel to get these things across to like the Mun and Minmus.
I'm sure there is, but look at that. All of that junk floating closely
a
together.
huge amount of space junk. Formation flying. Stupid satellites. Now, let's get into one of them and bung it across. Moon first, do you reckon?
Yeah, do you want to go for the Mun first?
Aye, send
That's
it over to
cool.
the Moon. Well, let's have a look, see where everything is.
Yeah, the Mun's going to be the quickest one to get to.
I
mean,
so.
we've already succeeded in getting 2 above Kerbin, in fact.
Aye. Little bit of a wonk there. That's alright, you know. Yep.
There we go. So, first manoeuvre.
Just need to nip in and turn the engine on and off just to see how long it's going to take.
Ah, I put them on the wrong way around. That's this over.
You fucking muppet!
But that's the right way around.
Press space. Right. Right. Do you know what we're going to do?
What we're going to do?
We're going to pause the recording and...
And we are back.
Indeed we are. That's looking a bit better now,
It's
isn't
looking a
it?
bit better. They are the right way around.
Yes.
They always were the right way around. The problem was they were clipping with the girders.
Aye.
And they were clipping slightly over the edge of the girder, so when they ejected, I mean, I don't really know what happened. It was trying to eject the girder from itself or something. God knows why.
Aye.
But when I detach this now, it should all be nice and smooth. Should we do one at a time, or...?
I think we should, detach one of them, send it to its location and then come back. I like the idea of being a bit more methodical. Now that looks freaking majestic.
It does.
So look at that. Nice
Right.
and clean and lovely.
We've still got all the debris here. That's a lot of expensive debris
We
there.
will point out, ladies and gentlemen, as we always said, we don't revert unless we really have to, and I don't think we have had to revert, have we? Is there maybe once I think we might have had to?
I think once we did.
I can't quite remember, to be honest. Yeah.
We've quick loaded a couple of times. Actually, no, we didn't revert. If you remember, we had the electricity bug.
Ah, that's right.
so
we're messing around in the debug a little bit.
We didn't revert, but we did use the debug cheats to get things back to the way they were supposed to be.
Aye.
We've missed the ideal moment of opportunity to do our burn here.
Can't really be
So
helped.
we can do it, but we'll be coming around from the outside at quite a distance. Should we just go ahead and give it a
I
whirl
think,
anyway?
we'll try this, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, we'll worry about it. We've got spare satellites here. I mean, we're going to give it a go. That's even worse.
Yeah, I'll just bring it out like that, and that'll give Have I accidentally switched to the wrong thing? No, we're still on the satellite. We've still got the manoeuvre node coming up.
So
It's all good. Now, this
Fine.
engine shouldn't be active yet, so I give it a quick burst just to get the gauge of what our delta V a second's going to be like. Okay, it's not like in the staging, so let's just activate it like that. 30-second burn.
That's lovely. For a second there, it was flashing up 7 or 8 days, which had us panicking.
Oh, that's because the engine hadn't been activated.
Yeah.
So yeah, little note that staging's not going to work anymore.
Look at the air bits in the background floating by. You're a shoddy cameraman sometimes, do you know that? Look, lovely views. You miss sunsets, you miss sunrises. That's what people who watch Kerbin like to see. Not us complain. Well, not me complaining and not you taking complaints. But they like to see nice images. That's a good thing. That's what it's all about.
Your point is well noted, Gonzo.
It's not just about the science, it's about the views. See, that's lovely. That's a really good one. That's good cameraing. Aye, follow the horizon. We want to see a nice sunrise. See if you can achieve it. I've no idea where the sun is, frankly. But
well, given that that's all light.
Well, we'll see a sunset. It'll work its way down as we're wanging around here. Alright. Yeah, this thing's very, very good. It's very light. I was a little bit sceptical, but it's doing very canny.
We'll just make sure we get that nice and neat so we don't overshoot or undershoot.
And then we've still got oodles of fuel.
Oodles and oodles of fuel.
Aye. And poodles and noodles. But yeah,
get that delta V nice and close because we are coming at the extreme edge of it. And the last thing we want is to shoot out.
Aye.
And not get that. There we go, we've got that encounter now. So we're gonna... Oh, there's no encounter. Well, there is an encounter, but... There we go. Where along...
Push it a bit more. We've got the fuel, but we've missed it. Right.
It's okay, we can correct it as we come on.
We need to slow down a touch here.
How's what angle?
Oh dear.
Really, we just need to burn towards the actual target itself. Once we get to
that's
that
a good
point.
one. Aye, let's do that then. There, we've got to know.
Because the mun's going to be there. Once we get to that point, burn towards the mun, basically.
Fuel isn't an issue here because it's not like we need fuel to return. It's not like we need fuel to try and land or do any of that fancy shit. We've just got to get close to it and then grab a hold of it by the cojones.
Is that the kind of view you like to see?
That's lush. See? That was magnificent, that view. I love that. Rubber Matt's playing Insurgency. Good for him. That's an alright game. Not sure if people will be able to see that or not.
Should have put some lights on the satellite just for that extra effect. I've missed the node, by the way. It doesn't matter, like I say, at this point, I just want to burn probably towards it, but a little bit ahead of it, like that.
The moon's looking a bit Majora's Mask at the minute, isn't it? It's kind of got like a bit of a face going on, a bit of an upside down face.
Okay, that's not working. I seem to be going away from it.
Drop down a manoeuvre node. Never try anything without manoeuvre nodes. I don't like freehanding.
You know what? I need to aim where it's going to be, not where it is.
Yeah, that's good. That was fine. Do that. We can bring ourselves in as close as we like once we've got the capture. That's what we need to do. So, bring ourselves right down. It is Majora's Mask. Look, there's two eyes and then there's like a smile upside down at the top of it.
There we go. There's our encounter. And that is in 1 hour. Put a little manoeuvre node on it.
I believe in the 1.0 release they're talking about bringing in the Kerbal alarm clock mode as well, aren't they?
Yeah, you're going to get reminders, or rather, yes and no. From what I hear, it's not going to let you know from the Science Centre, but if you're in time warp, when you approach the manoeuvre node, it's going to kick you out of time warp and put you back to 1 time.
Oh, that would be nice.
So there's no chance of overshooting.
We do that a lot.
But it doesn't seem as comprehensive as the Kerbal alarm clock mod.
Aye.
which actually
lets you fast forward to that point if you need to.
And if you're doing something else,
it'll bring up a thing where you can press the button to jump to it.
I'm not centered on the ship at the moment.
Just, you want to burn backwards. Backwards burn. Good old backwards burn. That's what we need.
There we go. No, it was just I had the map centered on Kerbin rather than centered on our little.
But in any event,
Bob.
the retro burn just to start bringing that blue line around.
There we go. It'll be nice and neat. Let's try and get about maybe 100,000.
Aye. Gun it. Gun it! It doesn't take much at all. Why haven't we done this before? It's quite a nice thing to do, really. Bring that right down.
I say about 100,000 would be nice.
Aye. Cool.
And then we'll zip on around to the other side.
It's a bit fannying, but it's a point of principle, isn't it? What's that twanging around the moon?
It's just a bit of debris from the last rocket we sent.
There's no chance. I know it's like the chances are infinitely small that would hit that, but we're nowhere near a collision course with that.
It's on a completely different orbit.
That's alright. You'll need to flip yourself over onto your retro.
And bring that at Wapsis down.
Alright.
Overshot there. Easy to do because this thing is so light. It's very, very floaty.
It's got lots of electri though, which I like. That's not taking much at all.
You know what, let's bring it down here. Yeah, that'll do.
Aye, that's good.
That's close enough.
Very nice. We've now got a survey satellite of the moon. I mean, all it can do is take the temperatures, but it can take the temperatures around the moon
It
as
can
and when
take
we
the
need them.
temperatures. So let's rename that so that we know what it is.
Aye.
So that's the Mun temperature.
Can we not call it the?
Satellite.
Can we not call it the Michael Fish?
But then we'll not know which one's which.
What do you mean?
We'll not know because we've got different satellites.
We'll call it the Mun and Michael Fish then.
The Mun and Michael Fish.
English viewers of a certain age will probably get that. Everybody else won't. Look him up. It'll be fine. I don't think he's been involved in any kind of scandals that have been going on with most of the sort of like 70s and 80s British TV presenters. I believe there's another well-known weatherman is getting into a bit of bother.
Are you getting the fine line of almost calling Michael Fish a potential paedophile?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just making sure that we're not naming our space assets after paedophiles. But I don't think Michael Fish is a one, is he?
No, not that I'm aware
No.
of. I mean, he's
Just to be clear, for legal purposes, we're not insinuating that he is, we're just making sure that he isn't. I'm just digging freaking holes here.
I've got all these bloody satellites. I don't know which one's which. I'm trying to find a one to put around Minmus from the Space Centre.
Right. So it's the satellite. There's so much stuff.
They're all called satellite launcher probe. So it's one of the launchers, isn't it?
Aye.
And
possibly that. And just jump to it.
let's have a look at the second one.
No, it's the other one. It's the other one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the other one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the other one had its orbit was slightly below the other one. The other one had a slightly inclined orbit, I'm sure. So
Well, you're wrong.
Bollocks. Alright.
It's not that one.
It's always that.
Oh, it's going to be such a hassle trying to work out which ones we've got to abandon and discard from the Space Centre and which ones we have to keep.
Yeah.
So it's the top one that we're using. Actually, you can tell because we launched that one slightly.
The other one has the fuel to deorbit. We can deorbit it.
It's switched around now. It's this one.
Right.
Because that one's got less of a mission time.
But
So we launched that one second.
Well, just do it then. What I was sorry, I got a bit aggro there.
We can land it.
What I was going to say is,
crash it.
just deorbit the thing. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, but then there's the 3 satellites themselves.
But there'll be places. It'll be fine.
Let's have that one off. Should have took that one off.
Probably.
That way that would have still been symmetrical, so it could have flew if we wanted it to.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Right, so let's get this bad boy to Minmus. Right, let's correct our inclination first.
Let's have a look. See.
So we want to burn. No, we want to
Burn down.
So that ought to about do it. But as with these inclination burns, I'll end up doing it by hand anyway. Whoa! Again, floaty goodness. They're so light.
Sprightly little
there's nothing to them. They may as well not even exist.
That's not very nice. We shouldn't offend the satellites. Alright, I'll take this moment to have a little more sip of coffee.
Engine on, engine on.
Cool.
That is interfering with it. Okay. That's not going well. Oh, what am I doing? I'm trying to bloody straighten my orbit, but I don't want to straighten my orbit because...
Aye, we're on a bit of a wonk when we're trying to hit Minmus.
Yeah, because Minmus is on a wonk itself.
I think, what would you call that? That would be a slightly inclined orbit, I think.
I believe the technical term is wonk.
Aye,
it's on a wonk.
Here at Geordie Space Command, we would say,
right, we're just
that moon's on a right wonk.
And we're going to use our catchphrase, we are 0.6 out, good enough.
Aye, that'll do.
Right, I forget where you've got a burn to hit Minmus.
Just out over.
So, we'll just cross its path.
No, that's not bad. Still not bad. Oh. There was a slight one there.
Yeah, we're going to have to burn a bit
No,
harder
that was good. You had one.
Did I? Did I actually get an encounter there?
Aye. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There's one.
Lovely jubbly. So that's Minmus encounter.
It's quite a bit of a distance off, but it's only a 30-second burn like we did before, and we've still got plenty of fuel to bring ourselves down into a circularised orbit, which will be nice.
So, let's zip forward. Don't want to take too long doing this video of just flying satellites around, but I'll try and get a couple of nice views.
Was Minmus the one where...
Minmus is our target, so this is the last one we have to do. We can leave the other ones attached to the body that they're on. Sunrise, that was beautiful. Well done. We can leave the other satellites attached to the body that they're on, because we can still take the readings from around Kerbin from there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then we've got them there if we ever do want to send them somewhere. These possibly could get a bit further.
What we'll probably want to do is keep one of the knackered ones where the engine doesn't work as the Kerbin satellite. And then the other two satellites we can send out to wherever we need them.
Well, you say that, but I would kind of like to round this episode up by deorbiting the bad one and crashing it into the planet.
And you forget that all the satellites are detached from it. So it's only the probe body itself, which is probably out of batteries by now, actually. Now that we think about it.
Okay. Well, we've got lots going around Kerbin, all fairly close together.
And we'll tidy it up. I think we better tidy it up off camera because it's going to take a while to work out what the hell is what.
Be a right pain in the backside.
Right, because we're so far out, I'm afraid I'm going to have to sacrifice this lovely view. What is that little... See that?
There's a little nubbin.
But yeah, I'm going to have to sacrifice this lovely view to go to the map to make sure I don't overshoot or undershoot, and then I get that orbit right. We're going to be quite a sharp inclination in terms of our orbit around Minmus, but it's neither here nor there.
Keep going.
And...
Bit more.
Well, not far out, according to...
Keep going, edge it out. We've missed it, but we'll be alright.
It's alright, I'll just retro for the tiniest little smidge. I'll get rid of that, because we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just the tiniest smidge of metro should...
Point your arse forwards, get ready to let out a little Tommy squeaker, just at the right time. That's too early. You don't want to prematurely let out a little squeaker. You don't want to let out too many as well.
There we go.
Gets a bit grating. We are in a small room. Nice.
Well, we've got an encounter, but it's not an orbit.
Well, yeah, but we'll make it an orbit.
Oh yeah, we'll make it an orbit. I'm missing all the beautiful...
The views, the sun shining down on Kerbin's lovely face.
That little basin there, I think that's really nice.
Aye. Yes, it is.
And there's the satellite, silhouetted against the sun.
That's very pretty. What are you doing? You're trying to work out how to get a nice sort of full-on view. The satellite shows its arse to the viewers, but it shows its face to the sun. Isn't that nice?
There's the Mun. Zipping by.
Goodbye.
As we're on our way to Minmus.
Goodbye, Majora's Mask.
Bye. If you squint, you can see the fleck of a satellite spinning around it. Obviously not.
No.
Game doesn't render things beyond 2.5
It doesn't.
kilometres.
There's a mod where you can do that where it'll push it much further out, but not to the point where it's silly. You've still got to be fairly close in space terms to see stuff.
Look at Kerbin spinning around.
And the moon going around it.
I
Isn't that
spin,
lovely?
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Well, there's a copyright strike to go with the lawsuit from Michael Fish's estate. He's not dead.
Michael Fish didn't write that song, you know.
Did he not?
No.
Are you sure he wasn't? Michael Fish wasn't the band called Fish?
I don't know what the band was called.
Dope did like a metal cover, possibly. Or was Dope the original one? I think Dope originally sang it, and then there was a metal cover.
The band themselves are the one that I always think of very like Boy George, but it isn't Boy George.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Dope. Sort of quite effeminate and quite out there. Okay then, where's Minmus?
We can't see the Mun from here, but that's Minmus.
Nice. Watch as we kind of fall towards it.
How long have we got? Oh, we've got over a day at this speed, so let's speed it up a bit.
Yeah, we're not actually, in travelling terms, that's actually, you wouldn't want to try and land at that speed, but you nearly could, quite easily.
Right, so I want to get to that little periapse, and then give it a retro burn.
This is so light, we could just rest this. We've got enough fuel to put this down on Minmus, sitting on its nozzle. I mean, let's not.
Let's not, yeah.
Let's not and say we did. But, I mean, we could do in theory. Just sit it there. But that'd be nice. Get ready for what burn.
Let's bring it around. I'm being messy because we've got loads of fuel. I think we've got loads of fuel. Yeah,
want half a tank. It's fine. That'll get you leads. Speed up.
Yeah, I was...
Go quicker.
I forget there's so little gravity influence out here, this far away from Kerbin, and Minmus is just a little bit of a tiny little rock, really, in the galactic.
You missed your prograde then.
I know, I decided to go all the way around because I missed it by that much.
Spin me right round, Ewok right round. So keep pushing. That's still quite... No, that's not close at all. No, that's good.
We'll do 60.
Aye, and then we're back round. Bring that down to about 60. Now what the hell was that? And what the hell was that?
Oh, would you relax? It's not rocket science.
That was a little bit Black and White Minstrels, I'll be honest. I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, we've now offended Michael Fish.
Are you worried that we've offended Black and White Minstrels everywhere?
Now, what are you trying to do here?
I'm just, doing my thing.
What? Slightly almost racist impressions and also balking our lovely space.
Look, that was no intention of racism there, and if that's what you read into it, then that is entirely on your head, mate.
Well, I'm just saying it came out ever so slightly like you were doing an impression and not a particularly compliment.
Shall we just leave it like that? It doesn't have to be.
Nah, that's fine.
It
That's
doesn't
fine.
have to be a neat order.
Get the science and
But
then
yes,
beam it back.
Here's the point of what we're doing. So, it's from around the bloody Mun anyway.
Oh, we've got that one ready.
So let's rename this.
So that's the Minman Michael Fish.
The Minman, not the Minmus.
No. Minman would be of Minmus, I think, wouldn't it? Min Michael Fish.
Okay, so we've got that one there. We've got the other one over in the other place. We've got about 8 of them orbiting Kerbin.
Some of which work, some of which have potential.
We've got 6 orbiting Kerbin, 2 of which work, and 4 of which don't.
Get in the way. We're going to need to get rid of them. I mean, there's a lot of lines like you would expect to see on a professional space program with having lots of like geosats and what have you. Unfortunately, all of ours are in fact just expensive debris.
That's a lovely view from this distance on the Mun. So yes, the entire point of this exercise was that every time we get a mission like this, where it says, we want science data from space around the Mun, science data from space around Minmus, science data from space around Kerbin. Although to be honest, we might, if we're feeling adventurous, we might try and push one, see if we can get one around Duna or Eve or something. We can do this.
I'm going to do the honours. Gonzo's at the What? What?
Do you have to be on the surface to do temperature scans?
What? What? What?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to take the fucking temperature in space.
You can do that.
Clearly not.
You so can, because I've done it around.
Clearly not.
Shh. You be quiet.
What do you mean, me be quiet?
This was such a great idea.
What do you mean? Oh, you know what? We should take some more signs. Should take some more signs. I know we can only take the goo, but we can only take the Science Junior. I don't think the pressure thing would work. Mind, I thought you could take temperature around planets when you were in space.
Yes, so did I, mate. I was convinced you could. The only ones you can't do is pressure.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because it says, oh, you need an atmosphere to do this.
You see, that worked.
What? I press buttons. That's the first time I've pressed buttons in...
Oh, it's only sending one of them out. They're all supposed to come out.
Right, you can click on it, press extend. Press extend. You can extend them all just for the hell of it.
Just manually extend them.
Aye. This is what it would have looked like if we could have made it so all of them were used.
You know what? Let's go back to that Mun one. Because something's going... Bleh. Maybe you've got to be in space near it rather than in space far from it. In which case we could close the orbit a little bit.
Aye, let's have a look. So, Mun and Minmus fish.
Not happy with that. Not happy with that at all.
You might have to be closer.
Okay, sure.
Bring it down to... Let's have a bit of a think here. What are we at? About 100?
We're at 100. Why don't we come down to about 40?
Yeah.
40 is safe enough on the Mun.
40, 50. Somewhere in that kind of region. See if I'll let me do it then. That's a bit of a strange one. I'm not particularly happy with that. I might just be that you've got to be closer.
I'm sure I've done one from, Kerbin, the sun.
Yeah, and like deep space and shit. So let me do it around Minmus, but for some reason it hasn't.
No, we were around Kerbin there. That was one of the Kerbin satellites.
Oh.
Let's try it from here.
I mean, you can do it from other planets, definitely. But give it a go. See if we can find it. On the front there.
I'll put these transmitters out for you if I can. I can't get a hold of them. I wonder if that's
the suspension's killing us here. Just see if we can...
It's just got toggle display as an option. What the flibbity flip flab flob's going on? I hate it when an episode comes to this.
Aye.
So everything's seeming to go smooth, and then we get the end and we go, cocked it up. Don't even know how we've cocked it up yet. Look, here's the Minmus one.
Yeah, we can't learn or develop under these...
Temperature scan can't be done in Minmus.
Right, I'll tell you what. We're going to stop the video again. We're going to hit a wiki. Alright?
Okay.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back again.
So, we've had a look at the wiki, and the wiki says that the highest point on the Mun is just over 7,000.
Just over 7,000. It also says temperature readings can't be done in deep space. So we were on the right track when we said let's bring that orbit down. But we need to bring it down even further.
Yeah, not close enough. So we're going to try drop down to 15 here.
Yeah, 15. Right. Given that the max, the highest area is apparently 30, we're going to come down to 15. Hey, what pain in the hoop.
Aye.
This is what happens though with Geordie Space Program since
it's us.
Since it's us.
So bring that down. Probably be alright.
Where's the actual bloody ship? We're here. Okay.
Follow that periapsis.
There we go. So that brings us down to 15. Let's whiz around to
Let's
there.
hope we don't smack into anything.
I'll drop a little manoeuvre node so we'll know when we'll land there.
We're going to be going right over the rescue site in the crater. Sort of.
Oh, we're a little way off there.
Aye.
They'll see it going by and they'll be reassured that.
Well, there would be. Is there still somebody trapped?
There's still a guy there. He'll be looking up. Actually, won't because his pod's face down.
Yeah,
isn't
he can't see anything but dust.
Right, we're at 19 here. This has got to count as low.
Yeah, I mean, how close do you want it to begin without actually
log temperature? Yes. Transmit.
Get the other things out. Sharpish. Extend all of them, and then that's a great way to just celebrate, I think, sticking all them little sticky things out.
Is that the technical term for them?
I stick the things out. For that one, it only seems to let you transmit now. Oh, there we go.
Nah, transmitted.
Aye.
Now, stay out. Stay out. But yeah, there we go. Mission complete. It cost nearly 200 grand because of that first rocket.
Just over 180 altogether.
Honestly, I'd be tempted to say it sucks that it was a clipping issue, because I made a point of making sure the damn radials were on the right way.
They were
the
right way
on the right way.
They were.
Well, we had some issues in this one, but I hope you agree that, by the most part, it was fairly successful.
The nice thing is, we identified there was issues, and then we actually managed to look up what was wrong and then put it right. That's progress.
We know the Minmus satellite's too far out, but by the time a mission comes, we'll be able to nip into it, bring the orbit down, and get ourselves some more science. It'll be even more than 56 grand when you're on Minmus, so it'll be a nice one.
Very canny.
And anyway, that's a fairly good time to round it off. I'm just making sure there's
anything exciting here we could do next time.
Science data from space around Kerbin. You see, this is what we're talking about. Oh, we'll accept that. Science data from space around Kerbin.
We can do that.
We can definitely do that. So let's.
Doesn't matter which one you use.
Let's pick this one. We're going. Oh, it's 36 grand.
Yeah, let's just have an extra few grand. Thank you very much for work we've already done.
And these ones are pretty common.
Send it.
So we'll get those missions over and over and over again, and we'll get that money.
Strangely enough, I noticed it's we've taken the data from here, but it's extending the one that's up on the top right there.
Well, that's all one vessel, so it doesn't really matter.
Bit more cash. That was nice.
But yeah, that almost proves what I was trying to achieve with this mission, and what we did achieve with this mission in a roundabout, long-winded, almost semi-disastrous kind of way.
What's nice is we've paid off the balked first launch.
Yes,
and made a little bit of profit off the top of that, so that's very canny. We hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, we always appreciate it if you want to drop a like or give us a comment and see what you think. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so as well, and we shall see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Goodbye.